Hey, it's Holly. In today's video, we are back checking out more vehicles. I'm going to be showing you two more vehicles that I am obsessed with. One is the 1995 Circus Wagon on the go, and the other one is the 1996 Flower Cafe on the go. These are just adorable. I'm so thrilled to have them in my collection, and I can't wait to show you around. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to be looking at two more vehicles today. I've had these in my collection for a bit, but haven't gotten around to showing them, mostly because I was really hoping I'd have the school bus by now. I don't. Really hoping to get that school bus soon, but have not seen one come up complete and or good for a good price. So here we are. So today I'm going to be showing you two sets, the Circus Wagon on the go from 1995 and the Flower Cafe on the go from 1996. So these are part of the sort of on the go series that you may have seen in my previous video for vehicles. There was a 1994 stable on the go, home on the go, which was an RV, and then there was also pool party on the go. So Circus Wagon on the go is effectively a traveling circus wagon. So this one's super cute, and this one is actually a recently upgraded set for me. I've now received a few of these, so I have duplicates. However, I think I just have one that's complete. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I just have one that's complete. So really cute little caravan. There is a section here that attaches to the horse with a seat for the driver of the caravan. And then the caravan is at the back. So these sets, they all kind of either fold back and open or sideways. This one folds back and open. But if we just take a look at the cute details on the side, really adorable windows, little heart details. Love the use of the pink and purple colors here. There's a tiny little heart on the back door and good pops of gold. Beautiful tiny logo in there, but they've done a really good job with this. So let's go ahead and open it up. So here's what the interior looks like. So there is a couch that folds out into a bed and it's actually flipped open. Do you think I'll be able to flip it back? There we go. There we go. So couch, it then opens up to the bed as you saw. There's a toilet, folks, with a sink. There is a television with on the side table here, which I think this is a mirror. Could be a speaker, but I think it's a mirror. Tiny little side table with snacks on it, and then inside through this door, which does open and close, there is an eating area. So tiny little stove in there. There's a tea kettle sitting up top there. Sorry, it's hard to see. Two plates seated across from each other, and then the other side is just food storage. So a hutch with some jars of food on it. And that's really all there is to the structure of the set. I love the design of the set. I love the big wheel at the back and then the smaller wheels up at the front. I think they've done a really beautiful job with this. And then here is the first of the three pieces that come with the set. So the first is a horse. The horse has some kind of championship ribbon around his neck, bow at the back by the tail, and you can see that there is a spot here where this peg will fit in. So this hooks up just like this. There we go. And it actually, like, it stays on. I'm not supporting this at all, so It's pretty good. So that's piece number 1. Piece number 2 is, of course, we've got Polly. And Polly, this one has quite a loose joint, unfortunately, but she's wearing a purple dress with what I think is supposed to be a flower detail down here. She has her arms sort of forward, and I believe that's because it's supposed to look like she's driving the caravan. She's got her hair in a bandana, short blonde hair, shoulder length, not a typical style that we see, and her dress has some white details. And then the last figure is this adorable dog. If you were to show me this with no context of the set, I would never have guessed this was a Polly Pocket piece. There really is no other markings on it that say that it's Bluebird. It's just, that is what came with the set. So if you know of the set and you recognize it, of course, then it would jump out to you, but without any knowledge, if I saw this in a toy bin, I never would have guessed that must be part of a Polly Pocket. Same with the horse. If you think of this horse and you compare it to the size of the other horses that we see in other sets, it's massive. Again, on the horse, there's no Bluebird markings either, so I find that kind of interesting. Of course, Polly does have markings on her feet, but that's about it. So those are the 3 figures. Not really sure, to be honest, how just trying to flip that bed back, how the dog is meant to fit into this other than just stand around. There's no spot that I'm aware of that the dog will actually clip in. But for Polly, of course, she can sit in the front chair. There's 2 spaces here that she can stand, but the dog just really, we put him in the back and we hope for the best, I guess. So that is, oh, and you cannot close it if he's in there. Gosh, this is complicated. There we go. There it is. So that's the 1995 Circus Wagon on the go. Okay, so the second set is this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful vehicle. This is the 1996 Flower Wagon on the go. No, flower wagon? Flower van? Flower cafe. 1996 Flower Cafe on the go. Beautiful. It's meant to be a traveling florist. So if you look at the sticker on the side, I am just obsessed with that. I think it's beautiful. Lovely floral details. It has a very bohemian vibe to it, which I find the color interesting with these pastels, but it still somehow works. And then same thing on the other side. Back door is huge, huge back door with a giant circular window. There's some oval windows on the side, and if you take a quick look in there, you can see that you see plastic flowers through those windows. Interesting style that you can just walk right onto this bus, but we'll go ahead and open it up. There we go. So this one's neat because it actually folds open. So the front folds open as well to reveal gifts. There are some gifts in there for some reason. There's a bouquet. These huge bouquets that we saw through the windows on the side. And then everything you'd expect in a flower shop. So it reminds me a lot of Midge's Flower Shop, but it's got paper for wrapping up bouquets. There's some tape here, telephone for taking orders. And then on the other side here, a cash register, again, more gifts, and just loose cuttings of flowers. So things ready to be assembled. So the reason it's called Flower Cafe on the go is the back part is a cafe. I don't know, to my knowledge, this is not a thing. But the back door opens, so you can walk back here, and it's a cafe. It's literally a cafe. So there's what I believe are an espresso machine and a coffee maker. There is cake here. On the other side, there are some rolling pins and a stove. It looks like they're making cookies. And then back here, my best guess with that is that that's meant to be ice cream. So a section of ice cream with a scoop there. I believe those are meant to be cones. So it's a cafe. Lots of places to stand. I mean, for a tiny vehicle, in reality, lots of places to stand. But I find this really interesting. On one hand, you've got a florist, and then on the other hand, you have like this food truck. So, I mean, it could work, I guess. It's a bit of a strange business idea, but maybe they could only afford one truck and two friends wanted to run a business, so they compromised on splitting it in half. So that is the vehicle. So what came with this? So 3 pieces came with this. Now, unfortunately, one of my pieces is not in great condition. This is the picnic table that came with it. As you can see, mine has a lot of stress marks, unfortunately. But there is the picnic table. It's got a piece of cake on it and a coffee or tea. And it came with 2 figures. So one is Polly. Unfortunately, her face is a bit worn off, but otherwise she's in good condition. So she has her hair in a slightly curled, but I wouldn't quite call it the Pollyville style because it's quite smooth at the bottom. She has a blue crop top and orange pants, purple shoes, a pink headband. So I would guess she's the florist, just basing off of the flower in her headband. The 3rd figure is Kathy, and Kathy's in great condition actually. So Kathy is ginger. She's got her orange-red hair pulled back in a braid at the back, which is quite lovely. Sorry, trying to get that focus for you. Quite lovely. I don't recall ever seeing this hairstyle on another figure, so it's really lovely. She's got a green ball cap on, purple, I want to say overalls, but it looks more like an overall dress. A white t-shirt. She's got yellow shoes, and fortunately, yes, her paint is in much better condition than Polly's. So again, just typecasting them based on their outfits, but my guess would be that Kathy is from this side. She looks like she works in a cafe, whereas Polly with her little floral headband, to me, looks like she's over here working the floor side. So very interesting. The other thing I find interesting about this is that there's nowhere for the person who's driving to like sit. There's no wheel. How does this thing operate? So of course, this is my problem anytime I deal with any of these sets. I get very caught up in these details, but there you have it. So that is the 1996 Flower Cafe on the Go. All right, so 2 super cute vehicles. I was super excited about them. Gosh, I mean, as always, let me know in the comments what your favorites are. Of the 2, do you prefer one? Personally, I'm obsessed with the Flower Cafe on the Go. I find the concept kind of funny, but I also, on some level, I get it. And I feel like they kind of fit 2 play sets in one with that one, so it's neat. The one thing that bothers me from a logistics perspective is the lack of steering wheel or place for the driver to sit. So unless this is just a novelty building, and this one doesn't really make a ton of sense, but I do love it. I love the colors. I love everything about it otherwise. Great shape too, just like a really beautiful vintage looking vehicle. This one, on the other hand, they did think of stuff, right? Like this one has the logistics. They thought about what you might need when you're living in a caravan, like a fold-out bed. So I love that the bed is a couch and then flips out into a full-size bed. So we love that. They've got a toilet, right? Like the basics, the basics. So I feel like they covered their bases with this one. So for me, if I had to pick a set, this one would be my favorite set. But in terms of my favorite thing from each one, I think just the chaos of this one for me is really my favorite thing. For this one, of course, I love that it has a toilet, but you know, it's really this oversized horse. This horse is obnoxiously large. And I'm just sitting here thinking of this. I've got my bins and bins and bins and bins of figures sitting right next to me. So why don't we dig one out and just compare it? So let's look for what, 1994 stable on the go would probably be a good example, right? So if we just compare this to the typical size of a Polly Pocket horse, I mean, that's nuts, right? Like, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. So, I mean, it is a horse, and maybe this is a pony. I mean, there could be things about it. And if you compare Polly's size to the typical, you know, horse that we get, it is, you know, a small horse. But again, I will say, like, because these don't have markings on them, if I found this in a toy bin and I didn't know exactly what this set was, I'm sure so many of these pieces just went missing because parents, even just cleaning stuff up and getting rid of things, are probably just like, what the heck is this little horse figure? Toss it. So I find this interesting. I think this is my favorite thing about it, is that this is just very unique. And of course, you know, the dog too, no markings on it, but just the sheer scale of this. And I feel like they were forced to do that, but who knows? I mean, they could have gone with a regular Polly-sized horse, but I think they did it based on the scale, and I think they made a good choice. So yes, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do like the video. Please also leave a comment. It really helps the algorithm. And also, if you have not hit subscribe yet, please hit subscribe. It's free to do, and it's the easiest way to support the channel. I come out with new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I love to just keep you up to date on all things vintage Polly Pocket, of which occasionally there are new things to talk about. So, which might seem surprising, but there you have it. Also, if you are on social media, come follow along there. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just look up Pocket Vintage Toys. That's the best place to connect with me outside of YouTube. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.